Hey folks, take a look at this new leaf of this golden crocodile, still straightening out. And I want you to take a look way down in here at the base of the petiole and that little red pimple. Brand new flower. That was showing 2 or 3 days ago when this leaf was mostly still rolled up. And it is the 4th consecutive leaf to have a flower associated with it. And I couldn't be happier. That's a sign, for me at least, that this plant is firing on all cylinders. Its environment is now conducive to it functioning and growing, I think, at optimal rate. It is quote-unquote happy, which is the worst way to refer to a plant, because plants don't have a state of mind. But as a responsive organism to stimuli, it is responding quite well, which means that its stimuli are quite well, which means that I'm doing okay. A word about that in a minute. There is the gloriosum. Little by little, every day, turning a little bit, expanding a little bit, coloring up better and more even a little bit. We'll wait and see. The bipenifoliums are all exploding. The pink princess is just now showing me the hints of a new baby leaf. The silver sword here, oh my god, look at that, boom. This is going to have well-developed back lobes after that leaf, and it's already bigger than that leaf. Very happy. This is the front stem cutting of that plant right there, which is going to be air layered in the future, now that it's coming back quite well. I do want to show you guys this. A fully sectionally variegated leaf off the pink princess. And this is the result of meeting its conditions and optimal requirements. Or requirements for optimal variegation expression. Okay, I'm going to start to get a little bit technical here in my verbiage to be as correct as I possibly can be. In the past, I once interacted lightly and quickly with a YouTuber who had posted a video about her wanting to declare a pink princess canceled. Now, just for not even dealing with the particular of the subject matter being a pink princess, but I tore into her a teeny bit for a whole bunch of reasons. Number one, for being obsessed with social status. Number two, for thinking that a plant has anything to do with that. Number three, for being, well, pardon me, but for being an idiot about keeping a pink princess and then complaining to the world that it's the pink princess's fault. Okay. We're all idiots. We all start out being idiots whenever we venture into a new subject. But those of us who remain idiots have no excuse, okay? This isn't a hard thing to learn. It really isn't. You have to read a couple of web pages. That's what it boils down to. And then you have to spend a little bit of money to get what you need. And then you give the plant what the plant needs because you got it what it needs, and the plant repays you accordingly because it is a truly and purely reactive organism. It gets enough light, it shows you the variegation. It gets dense foliage. It hugs its moss pole and doesn't get leggy. Okay? But if you don't meet the basic requirements, you're not going to get what the plant can potentially give you. And to complain about the plant for not giving you what its potential has because of the things you're not doing right is the epitome of stupidity. And you should be embarrassed at making a fool of yourself for making the complaint to begin with. I don't know how clearer I can be. And I'm trying to be polite here. Okay? I've got a whole rant planned about this whole phenomenon. if your lighting is good, if your fertilizing is good, if your watering is good, if your temperature, humidity, and your substrate are good, you will get that, whether you like it or not. In my case, it's more towards the not. I don't like that huge, garish statement of variegation like that. I just don't. I prefer a more subtle and evenly spread out pattern on my leaves. But they're not my leaves. Maybe that's where all these social media obsessed twat waffles get it wrong. I don't know. But twat waffle, by the way, just a quick aside, is a term I picked up when I was active in back in the day when the internet relay chat protocol was a big thing, and bulletin board websites had their own chat channels. There was a reef keeping chat channel that I was a regular participant in for quite a while, some years. And that was a term someone had coined. There were twat waffles and douche canoes. Those of you who have ever heard those expressions know the side I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what could be more representative of being the epitome of stupid behavior than bitching and moaning about a plant not giving you what you want from it when it's your own damn fault. And it has nothing to do with the plant. The plant can't help but be it. Okay? This plant cannot help but be a philodendron pink princess. And a philodendron pink princess just happens to need certain things to give you a philodendron pink princess. And if you're not willing or too intellectually lazy to get there, well, it's your own damn fault, and you should go culture cancel yourself and help the universe be a happier place. Okay. I got some of it out of my system. So we have the golden crocodile already in flower on its brand new leaf, which hasn't even started straightening out yet, and it gives no indication of not giving me a flower with every new leaf from here on in. The pink princess, I'm now willing to wager, will start giving me much more pink in the leaves because of the last minor change I made in my lighting. Minor from the standpoint of how much of a trouble it was, for me to change it. And the change was alternating and staggering my lights this way. Okay? Now, this wall gets a total, including those vertical pendants, there's 500 watts of lights here. Most of which, with the exception of 60 watts hanging down. So there are 440 watts of worth of Sansi lights aimed at this wall. And the Sunjo meter, the 3-in-1 Sunjo meter, at where the philodendron's lights are, the philodendron's leaves are, is close to the neighborhood of 500. That's right in front of the leaf. That leaf, okay? It ranges from right around 300 down over here to just above 500 up over here. So it drops down a little bit, top to bottom. Exactly the way you see these plants in their natural environment. Okay, and the light level of 300, I know, was measured once by a plant YouTuber in a jungle at the base of a tree where he found, I think, some of the varieties of plants we keep as aroid keepers. They were either anthuriums or alocasias or some philodendrons tucked away. So I've got the minimum here, right, for growth. Here I've got the zone for really true and proper variegation. It starts about 1.5 feet up off the wall, on the wall, and then it goes up to about 6 feet up. Okay, and as long as I do that, every plant here will express itself optimally with regards to color and form. Period. End of story. Okay, folks, and if you're not figuring it out, Don't start a video where you rant about it being the plant's fault, because it is never the plant's fault. It's always our fault. There is something we are not providing if there is something we are not getting. Whether it be entirely or in the right amount or enough or in a proportionate match to all the other major limiting factors that there could be. And there are only about 4 or 5. Light, water, nutrition, substrate, and then temperature, humidity, which I'll combine together as one. So that's 5 environmental factors, all of which are easily fixed and cheap to accomplish. Trust me. Okay? I live on a disability budget of $300 a week. Okay? And I can do this. I don't want to think about the, medical care if I need it, but neither can most of us, right? So, for a little hobby, and for the return I get, and for the longevity of most of the equipment, I'm going to sit down now. For the longevity of most of the equipment I'm using, I am not complaining at all. Okay, my entire electric bill is $120 a month, and that includes a furnace running practically nonstop through February. Okay, which is run by an electric motor, and I'm also online 24/7 with a large TV and 3 hard drives operating all the time, and a large TV operating 20 hours a day, because I always forget to shut it off. Okay. So, yeah, this is not taking up a huge amount of my electric bill. Again, 500 watts. Let's call it, with the cellular corner, we'll call it 560, 570 total. That's a half a kilowatt hour. So if your electric utility is charging you 14 cents a kilowatt hour, it costs me it would cost me 7 cents an hour. To run this wall, because 500 kilowatts, and that's only 13 hours a day. That's not a 24-hour a day run for that half a kilowatt hour. But that's what this wall essentially amounts to, a half a kilowatt hour for 13 hours a day in lighting. Okay, so if my kilowatt hour, I think it's closer to 10 or 11 cents. With all of the surcharges and transmission fees, and you count in all of that. You take your entire electric bill, divide it by the amount of kilowatt hours you got. Okay, and at 500 watts for 1 hour, right there, that is half a kilowatt hour. A kilowatt hour is 1,000 watts per hour. Okay, and that's what I got going on here for 13 hours a day. If you can do that, you can do a wall like this and get optimal color. Look at that, even at the angle, it shouts at your eyeball, and that's why I don't like it. And we'll see how it looks on the wall. But and not only that, but the pink is not my favorite color by a long shot. But to return to the subject at hand, you have to give these things what they need. Okay, and if you're not, it's because of you. Either you're lazy because you're not willing to find out and see what's needed and then try, okay, or you're just a self-centered little child who's being fully entitled and petulant in attitude, and no one has really any use for that. That helps nobody. That's a personality that is toxic, and you people, instead of trying to cancel plants, you need to work on canceling yourselves. You truly do, because you're dragging everybody else down with you, with your ridiculously obsessive behavior. And it's obsessive behavior around the most ridiculous things. Whether a plant should be canceled. Give me a break, please. Okay. Alrighty, folks, that's the wall for today. Everybody's coming back. The Ornatas are coming back. One of the baby gigases, I think, is coming back. And I think I figured out what happened. I'll go into it in more detail on a future video. But for now, we got pink. Have fun, folks.